So I just watched Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, which is a 3-part trilogy that follows Tanjiro and the Hashiras as they make their way through a living castle that is filled with hordes of demons. This castle is being controlled by a demon who's using the demon blood art to have the castle move around and trap the other Hashiras and the other demon slayers as they make their way through it in search of Muzan, who's still hell-bent on conquering the sun. Now, if you're going to see this movie, just to let you know, this movie is long. I feel like this movie is about the same amount of runtime as Avengers Infinity War. This movie is well over 2 hours. Demon Slayer has not slowed down with their animated art style. Their budget is top tier when it comes to animation. Now, if you watch Mugen Train, this is up there with the animation. This is like top tier quality. Demon Slayer does not slow down when it comes to that. Their budget is top tier when it comes to animation. Now, if you're a fan of Demon Slayer, then you know that they do not shy away from a backstory, and there is a lot of good backstories in this movie. I will say though that in this movie, the backstories is really where the movie shines the most. Most of this movie, you're going to be listening to a decent amount of backstory, whether it be through the Demon Slayer themselves, the Hashira, or the demons. There is a fair amount of action in this, and yes, you do get to see your boy Zenitsu go ham. But at the end of the day, there's more backstory than there is fight. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some decent fights in this movie. We love to see a good team up with Tanjiro and a Hashira here and there, and you do get that in this movie. There's really only 3 big fights in this movie, but the fights are very well choreographed. Now, there was a missed opportunity. I feel like we didn't get certain fights that we would have loved to see in this movie, but I feel like they're gonna throw that into the 2nd and 3rd act. Since we no longer have Kagaya since his run-in with Muzan, we now have his son and his daughter leading the operation, and they're mapping out the castle for the Hashiras and for the Demon Slayers to find all the demons. Muzan is hiding somewhere deep within the castle, gathering his strength, preparing for his final battle between Tanjiro and the Hashiras. And like I said, we get some pretty big fights in this movie, but most of the fights happen pretty fast, and most of the time that you're going to be sitting there is through backstories and storytelling. I really enjoyed Zenitsu's segment in this movie. I feel like he probably had the best part of the whole movie. I will say that if you're a Zenitsu fan, you're in for a treat with this one. We also got a pretty good Tanjiro fight in this movie. I love it when Tanjiro has his back against the wall. He always seems to learn something when it matters most, and that's what makes Tanjiro special. There are a ton of demons in this castle, and everybody's at their wits' end because the demons are just coming left and right and they just don't stop. The idea is to keep the demons attacking the Slayers and the Hashiras to wear them down so they won't be a match for Muzan when he finally reaches his final form. This movie has heart where it needs it the most. There really are some sad scenes in this movie, and I left this movie feeling overwhelmed and just a horde of different emotions that was like taking over me at the final finale of this movie. There really are some touching scenes in this movie, and there are a lot of things that happened in this movie. And you know, this movie is, like I said, well over 2 hours long. You know, I wanted to get up and use the bathroom and I couldn't even do it because I didn't want to miss anything, but a lot of stuff happens in this movie and you guys are in for a hell of a lot. This movie feels like an introduction for something much bigger, which is crazy to say because this movie is over 2 hours and we really don't get as much as I would have wanted to see as far as like fighting is concerned, but we do get some deep dive into some of these characters, and it really was well worth the wait. I feel like this movie is an introduction for something more deeper that's coming down the line. But I did enjoy this movie. I feel like you will definitely, if you're a Demon Slayer fan, you will enjoy this movie. I can't wait to see the final finale and what's gonna happen, because now I'm just like curious to see like how this is all going to come to a close. I can't wait to see the conclusion of what's going to happen, because so far this was just the beginning and there was a lot in this movie. There was a lot of like, you know, interesting scenes that happened that I don't want to dive into too much. You're just going to have to wait and see for yourself. But if you know Demon Slayer, then you know that Demon Slayer does not miss when it comes to their art style. They definitely put a big budget when it comes to, you know, these demons and the Demon Slayers. You know, you could definitely see where they put their money into making these movies. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys saw Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, let me know how you felt about it. Leave your comments below. Once again, please like and subscribe this video as it'll help grow the channel. And remember guys, it isn't cinema if it ain't absolute cinema. Till next time, take care.